I want to give you a phrase that I just read. It's from Michael Hoff. He wrote a book long ago called "Those Who Remain." It's a series of books, and in it, he wrote, I think, one of the most profound phrases I've ever heard. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. Where are we in that? We are now at the weakest men I think our country has ever seen. Men have been emasculated. Men are no longer men. You're not allowed to be men. And that's why we're having hard times. Because men will not stand up and be men. And in those days, their hearts will fail them. Our hearts have been failing us for a long time, gentlemen. A long time. Do we stand for truth? Do we stand for justice? Do we treat women the way we should be treating women all the time? Do we stand up for those who can't defend themselves? That really is what America, I think, was based on. Any of our military, it was to defend the defenseless. We are a nation of bullies now. And all this anti-bullying crap is just that. It's crap. It hasn't stopped bullies. It has given those people who claim to be trying to stop bullies the power to be a bully on everybody else. And the reason why they can be bullies is because we are weak men. The good news is these times are going to create strong men. And I will tell you that we have a choice. We can either stand up now collectively and be strong men, or when all of us are so weak, we will cry out for a strong man. And that will be the end of the republic. The reason why we are having, I don't know if you saw this. We saw a record increase in murders in 2020. The homicide rate, there were 5,000 more homicides across the country than the year earlier. We had 21,500 murders last year. 30% rise. The previous record is in 1968. We had an increase in 1968 of 12.7. This is a record jump of 30%. They're going to blame it on guns. But you know what it is? There's no deterrence anymore. There's no consequence anymore. Nobody has to pay for his sins. And that's the problem. We have allowed weak men to be our shepherds. I think you could trace this particular situation that we're in now. I think you could trace a lot of it to Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. Because he was a man who didn't have to pay for his sins. And every man saw it. Every child saw it. It changed the way we talked about everything. It changed the way we thought about perjury. Oh, if you're just smart enough, having a good enough attorney, you can get away with anything. And ever since then, people keep getting away with it. There is no deterrence anymore. And it is trickled down to the lowest levels. There is no... If you do something wrong and burn a building down, you're not going to jail if you're on the right side and burn that building down for the politically correct reason.
Even if that building happens to be a police precinct.
Correct. They will leave the building and watch you do it, and then no ramification. See, deterrence is really, really effective. The FAA says more than 70% of the unruly passenger incidents on flights are related to masks. You know why? Because it's bullcrap and we all know it. We all know it. 70% of the unruly passenger incidents. So you know what the FAA is saying? These airlines have to crack down harder on the people who are flying. That's not going to help. That's only going to make things worse. Because you are no longer dealing with common sense anymore. But see, the crackdown on you is really important because deterrence works, and they know that. Do you hear about the guy who stole a beer from Nancy Pelosi's refrigerator? He walked into her office during January 6th. He's been held since January 6th.
I'm stunned to hear there's alcohol in Nancy's office.
Yeah,
that's a shocker.
Wouldn't you need it? And he walked into the office, opened up the refrigerator, saw a beer, grabbed one, and drank it and left. Now, he's been in jail for drinking a beer out of somebody else's refrigerator. That's what you would call a misdemeanor. That's what he was charged for. He was charged and convicted of a misdemeanor. Why has he spent all this time in jail? Because they are sending you a message. Deterrence works. You mess with us, and we will mess with your entire life. It's what happens online. Yesterday, I told you about a new show on Blaze TV. It asked a question. And that one question got them 2 strikes, 3 strikes, you're done. It's a brand new show. They asked the question that was a logical question about masks. No, you can't do that. We will shut you down. It's why they have worked so hard to keep us from rescuing people. And believe me, no good deed goes unpunished. Because we have rescued the number of people that we have over in Afghanistan, because we have done the things that they didn't, and I wouldn't say couldn't, that they wouldn't do, we did it. Because hard times create strong men. And they will make us pay a price. One way or another, we will pay a price for it, and so be it. But when that price comes to be paid, just know, don't listen to that deterrence. Don't listen to it. It's a lie. It's a lie. Whatever they do to punish anybody who is standing up for the right thing, don't be deterred by it. Be encouraged by it. They are trying to send you a message because that's effective. And they don't want you to be effective. Be a strong man. Stand up. Because you are the answer to someone's prayer today. And by being that man, just today in the small way, whatever way you find, you will change the world. Because there's enough of us that want to be strong men.